Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome. I hope you click like, subscribe, and share, and that you drop a comment in the comment section below this video. So this video is a message that is just being channeled through, divinely guided through. I am seated at a basilica, and this basilica is in the southwest of France. It's called the Notre Dame de la Fin de Mer. Yeah, I got it. So Our Lady of the End of the Seas, basically, and legend has it that two saints landed here after the death of Christ, Saint Veronique and her husband, and they teamed up with Saint Martin, who was an abbot here in the area, and they evangelized the area and or Christianized the area. And so this is dedicated to a form of the Madonna. Now, the southwest of France has an incredible story around what happened after the crucifixion. And I invite you to look into that, into Mary Magdalene and her remains that are just outside of Marseille, and the other saints that came with her as well, and that passed away in the south of France, and the story and the legends that rose up out of that. So it's very, very interesting. And of course, this has been going around for quite some time and was the basis for various movies and books and lore and all of that, so I won't dive too much into it, but let's just say it's very real here. But you can also definitely feel a very feminine presence and very feminine energy in this part too. I'm guessing the south of France. This is one of the lightest, and I love churches. I don't care what you guys say. I love visiting churches. I love visiting chapels. I love the lore. I love the mysticism. I love the stories. I really connect to it. And this is one of the lightest, most feminine ones that I've felt in ever. So I'm super excited to explore more and to see more of what's out there. So let's get into your message though, and what seems to be coming through here. What seems to be coming through? What is the message that you guys need to hear right now? Or whoever's tuning into this is your message of the moment. This is what is coming through for you. So the card that flipped over is the, let's see here, the Nine of Wands. So I'm talking to someone who's been having a hard go at it. You've been really praying for some intervention. You've been praying for divine intervention. You've been praying for answers, solutions, something to clear your pathway, clear your way, clear the obstacles, and make things come about for you in a way that they just work out. You're not even wishing revenge on anyone. You're not cursing God. You're not cursing the universe. You're not doing any of that. You're like, you know what, God, if this is what I need to experience, if this is what I need to do, help me make the most of it. Just help me get through this. Like, you're at the end of the tether. You're at the end of your rope, and you're wondering, is anybody even out there and even listening? Does anybody even hear what I put out there? Do they even hear what I'm saying? And it feels like everybody's having a good time and they're all at this party, the Three of Cups, except for you. It feels as if, everybody seems to have figured out how to make this happen except for you. So, but yeah. So what seems to be coming through is that, you've been praying hard for some kind of resolution, for some kind of outcome, for some kind of clarity in your situation, for something to be able to just clear itself up for you, just be able to move itself forward for you. And you might be feeling like everybody else has figured out this game called life. Everybody else has figured out how to make things work and how to make things happen for them. But for you, it just seems as if things are unfair, as if things aren't really happening the way they're supposed to be happening. You try to do stuff and it just doesn't work out, or things kind of start exploding all over the place when you do start doing things in the way that you're expected to. So you've been praying, you've been asking, dear God, please come through for me. Please show me the pathway forward. Please show me what I need to do. Please take this burden off of me. Please allow me to be the best that I can be for you. Allow me to be who you need me to be in this scenario, in this situation, in this way. And it really feels as if your prayers are being heard. Your prayers are being heard. So what else is coming up for you? What else is coming up for you? Yeah, so things are have been kind of stuck. We've got the Hanged Man. Things have been kind of stuck for quite some time. And they have been not moving forward in the sense that, you haven't been able to figure out what your next pathway forward is, because there seems to be no answer forthcoming. There seems to be no information coming to you. And it's gotten to the point where you might be even doubting yourself. You might be doubting your intuition. You might be doubting your messaging. You might be doubting what's coming through for you. So things feel like they've picked up speed. Yeah. The Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, excuse me. The Knight of Wands. Things feel like they've picked up speed. And they feel like not just have they picked up speed, it's kind of like you have to put in so much effort to make things happen that it comes across as if you're being pushy or aggressive, or people will tell you, but you're not in your flow. And you're like, if I stay in my flow, things stagnate. They don't go anywhere. Nothing happens. I need to be the one to push things forward. I need to be the ones to make things come about. I need to be the one to make things happen. And it just feels as if you're really, having a hard time at it. So what's your solution? What's your solution? And we've got the Four of Wands. Rejoice, because your prayers have been heard. Really, the Four of Wands has to do with establishing new, optimistic ways of going about things, right? So celebrating your small wins, celebrating the tiny steps that you do, celebrating each step forward that you make energetically, spiritually, because this is moving. You shifting and changing is moving yourself out of habits. You're moving out of habits of thinking, habits of feeling, habits of perceiving, habits of coping. So every single small step you make, you're breaking a habit or even a chain of habits that you're making fall together, collapse. So celebrate the small wins. Celebrate the big wins, of course, too, but celebrate the small wins and make sure that you're taking things one step at a time, and that you're building new foundations to move out from. So start building new habits. Don't try to, attack the old ones or break them down or analyze them to death. Just recognize them, be aware for what they are and why they're there, and then just start building new habits. So let's say you get upset and you get hurt. You either grab a glass or you grab a cigarette or you grab some food. Catch yourself in the act of doing that and intentionally redirect the energy, right? So clearly what you're looking for is comfort and nurturing and connection. So what else can I do to provide myself with comfort, nurturing, and connection? Maybe it's going for a run. Maybe it's listening to myself and meditate. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's giving myself like a big fat hug, and instead of a food, just a hot tea will do, and a beautiful movie. So really start catching yourself in your automatisms, in your mechanisms, and slowly start shifting one step at a time, and pat yourself on the back. Give yourself recognition and validation for the small wins, because if you don't recognize and validate yourself, how are others supposed to do that, right? So you've got to do that first. What else is coming up for you on solutions to get yourself out? We've got true love. This is super important. Start thinking again, what does love mean to you? And I know a lot of people think, well, I know what love is and I know what love is about, but honestly, what does true love mean to you? What are you willing to give? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to make sacred for true love? And this doesn't mean staying in toxic relationships past their due date. That's not true love, okay? That's something else. We all know that now. We're all educated enough to realize that. So, but true love between partners, between friends, in the work that you do. Where do you experience true love in your life? Because that is what really heals you guys, is true love. The experience of true love will will erase the impressions of non-love, and will fill up your soul again in those hollows and corners where you feel like there's nothing there, and you're looking for something to fill that with. So the question is, where do I truly love? Whom do I really give love to? Where do I experience love? How do I open up to love? How do I allow love into my life? Do I even allow love into my life? Do I allow love to be in my life? All these things around love. What do I understand under love? What do I understand under connection? What do I understand under appreciation and validation, recognition, joy? And really have a look at that, because modern day understanding of love and what we've been sold as love is not what this is referring to at all. So really have a deep dive into that and be willing to turn over some rocks and stones and look past some corners and veils, okay? Next up, what is coming up for you? Next up, please. Next up, solutions. Solutions for someone who's been praying. We've got, the Two of Swords. What are you willing to sacrifice? That's exactly what I said before. And the Two of Swords, and we see here Abraham willing to sacrifice Isaac, his beloved son, his only son, the son that he got at a late age in his life, and willing to sacrifice him to God because God asked for it. Now, there's a lot of metaphors and allegories for this story, so it's not necessarily literally him sacrificing his son. But let's just leave it at that for now. But it's definitely something to be thought about. What are you willing to give up? So a lot of people, they want it all. They want to keep their bad habits, their toxic patterns, but they want everybody else to change. They want everything else around them to change and for everything around them to come into alignment so that they can live happily holding on to their toxic patterns. But that's not what this life is about. It's about transmuting those energies so you can vibrate in a higher frequency, a higher realm, if you will. Or not. I mean, I don't know what your life specifically is about. Maybe you're one of those that is helping maintain a certain vibration for everybody else to transcend and lift up. I don't know. But for the most part, the way I understand it, it's to kind of evolve, evolve into more expression of being, evolve into becoming master of limitation and utilizing limitations to become even more manifesting of your principles, values, alignments, spiritual energies, spiritual essence, spiritual beings into this realm. And so when it comes to the Two of Swords, and it's asking you, what are you willing to give back to life? Because a lot of people are so concerned about, what do I get from life? Life owes me everything, that they're not concerned about what they have to give, what they have to offer, how they keep the flow of life circulating through their existence. And this doesn't, of course, necessarily mean continue having children. That's totally, up to you. But continuing the flow of life, as in giving, participating in life, adding to life, whatever it may be, whatever it is that you desire to add. So it does feel as if there's something here for you to kind of look at, because the shadow side of the Two of Swords is it's kind of like a mental Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is emotional, where you're kind of resisting what life has to offer. You're saying, not good enough for me. But the Two of Swords is kind of like, I'm not going to make a move until things happen the way I want them to. And so the Two of Swords is asking, do you have enough faith? Right? That's the core essence of this energy is, do you have enough faith? Do you have enough faith? And remember, it is said that faith will move mountains. So do you have enough faith for these mountains to move so that you can sacrifice what you need to sacrifice, give up what you need to give up in order for these mountains to move? Are you ready? Right? Because a lot of times we find ourselves in these stuck positions because we're not willing to take the next step, because the next step is giving up something that you're not yet ready to give up. And so you find yourself in a stuck position because you're not flowing, you're not moving forward, you're not doing what the situation asks of you, because maybe there's a mindset of, what do I get? I need to retain, I need to hold on, I need to control, I need to own, have. And this is stopping you from moving forward into your next step of freedom. So what else is solution is coming up for you? You've got to let go and let God. Let go and let God. Next solution that's coming up for you is the Two of Wands. Have a vision, okay? So have a vision. What is it that you truly want? You know, because the Two of Wands sees you weighing your options. You're standing there and you're looking out at all the scenarios that could possibly play out, and you're weighing your options. And of course, the options that you're weighing are what's best for me. What do I get out of this? How can I make this, you know, so that I come out on top? And I mean, that's what we're taught in our societies. We're taught in our societies to continually look for our own personal gain and benefit. And I know this is tough right now to hear, especially when you're in a tough situation and you're like, Karleen, I'm really struggling here. I really have no idea how I'm going to get through the month or next month. I don't need to hear all this because first I have to take care of me. I get it. Spirit gets it. So that's why they're bringing up consistently moving yourself energetically, spiritually, emotionally, and physically from negative into positive. You have to do this. Patting yourself on the back for that. Looking at what are you offering to life? What are you giving to life? Because spirit they need some kind of an access to you. So if you've cut yourself off from life and you're not offering anything, you're not taking anything in, you're not doing anything except barely existing, it's harder to get to you. You have to open a door. You have to open a gateway. You have to open a portal. You have to tear down the walls that you've built around your heart to allow and let love in and life in and connection in. Because when spirit gives you things and offers you things, it goes through the hands of people. Look at that tree. It's not going to bring me my couch, you know, if I'm trying to manifest that. But I might read something that is being offered. Somebody might be, or my colleague at work might tell me that, oh, my brother is giving away a couch. And that's how it comes into my existence. But for that, I need to open the portal. I need to open the gateway, which is meaning I need to be willing to be connected to, and I need to be willing to connect. So whatever is happening there that is cutting you off from desiring to connect to other people, to disliking other people, mistrusting, not having enough faith in life itself and in God. This is what needs to come into healing. And the situation that you're in is a healing situation because it's bringing these topics up for you to look at. You just don't want to because you want an instant resolution, because that's the society that we've all been raised in, that we can have instant resolutions to everything. And if we don't, it's because it's our fault. But that's not the truth. It's an illusion. So back to the Two of Wands. Two of Wands, you're looking out over the world and you have all these options and possibilities, and it's for you to decide which one you choose. I mean, look at our creativity, our creative faculties as humanity, and we decided to create wars and poverty and all these systems and structures which keep us locked down. But it's our choice. It is our choice as unsexy, unglamorous, unalluring as much as we want to hear. It's somebody else's fault. And as much as we want to create a new devil out there in the form of aliens, entities, you name it, we're here making the choices, our day-to-day choices, to help someone or to lock them out, to live a life that is disconnected from spirituality and a higher connection, or to live in a life where spirituality flows through you at every moment. It's our choice to live in the light of love or in the light or the darkness of fear, right? So that Two of Wands is bringing up choice for you to look at. Now, this is not all to put the blame and the guilt on you, because I get it that this feels heavy and you're like, I'm trying to do all that, but the system won't let up. It won't give me a chance. It won't do. It won't give me that. And I've got kids. I don't have time to make a mistake. I totally understand. And so for you, one more card of hope and of healing, please. One more card of hope and of healing. And you're getting 2 cards of hope and healing. That's how spirit is. You take one step towards spirit, it'll take multiple steps towards you. Oh my gosh. So these are the cards that came up. talk about hope and healing. We've got the Six of Wands, which is success. So this is guaranteeing you success, and the sun, and an allegory on the sun, right? So these cards are so alive. It's incredible. So we've got the Six of Wands, and it says, keep calling out. Because when the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, and at the sound of the trumpet, when the men gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed, so everyone charged straight in, and they took the city. And this is in Joshua chapter 6, verse 20, and this is the fall of Jericho. So what they're reminding you of how you use your voice. We have been given power in what we speak, what we articulate, what we put out there. So you have to consistently, even though it doesn't look like that yet, you have to consistently put out there that you've won over the situation, that you're in control of who you are. And this is how a part of the manifestation process, because of course you're going to be thinking what you're speaking. So that becomes a new habit. And all of a sudden you're perceiving that and you're acting in alignment with it and accordance with it. Not only that, you're putting the vibration in your energy, in your aura field, so other people are perceiving what you say about yourself, right? So look at how you perceive me. If I say, I'm a beautiful person and I'm absolutely wonderful and I radiate goodness and harmony, versus I am angry and suffering and nothing works out and nothing is happening and nothing. How do you perceive me in that moment? Now, this is going to be a very light perception, because you know what I'm doing because I'm saying it. But I am beautiful. I am an elevated being. I am doing good things in the world. I am a wonderful person. And so are you. You have to start speaking this into your existence, into your life, because everything else you've spoken into your life and into your existence has become part of it, right? So you want this to become a part of your existence as well. So your speech is super important. What you say, you've been giving the magic tools of being able to cast spells. You being able to cast spells into this realm, into this world, into this 3D fantasy that we're living here. And you've got it too. All of us do. Faith, confidence. If you can't have it in yourself, learn to have it in an elevated or higher being, such as Christ. Have faith and confidence in Christ. And this is the triumphal entry, the sun into Jerusalem. And I can do all things in the name of Christ is a mantra that I say to myself. I should say it more, but I used to say it to myself all the time. I can do all things in the name of Christ, right? I can do all things in the name of Christ. And all things are, I'm capable of doing so much in the name of Christ. And every time I say that, I feel this boost of energy. I feel this upliftment. I get goosebumps. I feel this wave. And right now I'm feeling it going down my back and my spine, especially in this vicinity here. But I invite you to say that to yourself. I can do all things in the name of Christ. All things are capable, all doors, all pathways are open to me in the name of Christ. Because if you don't believe in yourself, lean on Him. Lean on Him. Lean on that higher consciousness. Lean on that strength. Lean on that light. And learn to trust that again. And through that, you'll learn to trust yourself. It will light your pathway. It will light your way forward. So I hope this helped someone out there that needs to hear it, because I know that right now the times are interesting, to say the least. And I keep repeating that in most of my videos where I'm speaking about the collective and the outer collective and what's going on. But I see it even here, how disoriented people are right now and how they're not knowing, they're living in the moment. They're living very much in the now, which is fantastic. That's what we weren't doing a couple of years ago. But at the same time, that leaves them uncertain about the future. And so there's this energy of not quite sure where to put the next foot, where to put the next step. And so if you're in that energy and you're caught up by the collective consciousness and the collective wave, learn to lean on Christ, learn to lean on Him. Okay? So I hope that helps. And otherwise, I will see you soon in my next video. And one more card for you in parting or in going, one more good, yeah. A new world is being born, Ace of Coins, okay? A new world. There is a new dawn coming. There is a new chapter in this story. And as I'm sitting here, I'm being reminded, and I feel a feminine presence come up next to me, and I want to say it is Saint Veronique. But I'm being reminded that after Christ died, or they thought he did, after all that went down, and they thought that was the end of it. That was the end of it. It was the end of their world. They literally thought that was the end of it. They didn't know what was coming next. They didn't know God's plan. They didn't know that things were going to continue. They didn't know that they were going to build up a new place in a new country across the waters, across the sea. They didn't know all that. And so they thought their world had come to an end. But it always, always, always continues if you have faith, if you have belief, if you have trust, if you're willing to let go of control, if you're willing to put all that in his hands so that he can turn it into gold. He can turn it into something absolutely stunningly glorious and beautiful, and utilize it to glorify life. Remember that nature wins. Nature and life always wins. And we saw that in Mexico when I was living there, and I did videos way in the beginning, so 4 years ago, where I showed nature always wins, because we're looking at these ruins and they're overgrown by nature. Within a few short years, nobody can find them unless it's happenstance or old lore, old village stories, right? So nature always wins and life always continues. Life always lands on the sunny side up. So you want to be on the side of life. You want to trust life. You want to trust the agents of life. You want to trust the consciousness that supports life. Take care. Love you.